Today we're going to be talking about what you need to know before moving to Idaho in 2026. Let's dive into it. So guys, let's dive straight into it. Is Idaho even a good place to live? That's one of the top questions we get from all of you guys who are watching this channel or reaching out to us that are curious about moving to the area. And honestly, in my personal opinion, I absolutely do believe Idaho has been one of the greatest places to live. And this is coming from someone who's not from here, who's not a local, who hasn't grown up and was born and raised here. I was actually from Wichita, Kansas, and then I did live in Southern California as well. We lived in the Irvine and Irvine and Lake Elsinore area, and then we ended up getting stationed here in Idaho. So if you don't know my story, I joined the military, got stationed at Mountain Home, Idaho, and then we just recently moved to the Boise and surrounding areas, which we absolutely love. So now when we're talking about why people are even moving to Idaho in the first place, that's going to be the first thing we're hitting on. A lot of people are looking for a place that feels like it has a nice, slower pace of lifestyle, right? So when we're talking to other people who also live here, and you could literally leave your door unlocked and have the door open, and someone will probably come close it for you and lock it for you. That's how awesome of an area it is. So a lot of people are looking to get away from, just the day-to-day craziness of where they currently live, whether you're looking to move from California or Oregon or Washington, those being the biggest states where a lot of people are moving from to Idaho. If you're in that situation, then you're probably listening to this and nodding your head like, yep, that's me. Now, other people also are moving this way because they absolutely love the outdoor access that they get out here. They do get 4-season weather, so that is a pro and a con to some people. Some people love winter, some people hate it. Some people come out here and then they experience it for themselves and come up with an opinion. So if that's you, then unfortunately you gotta wait to figure that one out. But a lot of people do love the ability to not just be able to go snowboard in the same year, but also to be able to go hit the water and be able to ride a boat or drive a boat if you have a boat. But they just love being able to have all different types of activities. And I'm talking about a lot of people that move here end up getting into fishing, or they get up into hiking and trailing and camping and doing all the fun stuff with their families. It's just an absolutely great time. So a lot of people interested in that lifestyle are also moving this way. The last reason why a lot of people are moving to Idaho, now when we're talking about Idaho, I'm personally talking about Boise and the surrounding areas specifically. Even if you're not looking to move to that area, maybe you're looking at North Idaho or East Idaho, you can always reach out to me. And guys, just so you do know, yes, I am a licensed real estate agent. Yes, we have an amazing relocation guide, and yes, we have so much we could offer you guys. So you can click the link below for the access to the relocation guide, and it'll tell you everything about Boise and the surrounding areas. Or if you're looking for some help specifically about your situation, you can call me, text me, or email me. But getting back to the video, guys, the last reason why a lot of people are moving here is going to be that they absolutely love how much more affordable it is in comparison to some of the other states. Now, Idaho is relatively still more affordable, but depending on what areas, so for example, Boise and Meridian are going to be in the real estate wise, let's just talk real estate, you're going to be looking at anywhere between 500 to 600,000 is kind of where that median price point has fluctuated this last year. Now this year is probably going to do the same and probably grow some, and I'll tell you guys why later in the video. But for a lot of people who are relocating this way, they are seeing that it's significantly more inexpensive outside of the real estate side of things, right? Utilities are significantly cheaper. We have some of the lowest property taxes in the entire state. Income tax is low, property tax is low. We even have a homeowner exemption, which actually allows you to save anywhere between 20 to 30 to 40% off of your property taxes, depending on your purchase price and things of that nature. So there's a lot of really cool benefits that you have when living here. So that is also super attractive to people because it's just more affordable. The dollar goes further, and who doesn't like saving money? Now, one more thing I want to bring up. A lot of people who have moved here have told me they literally are moving here because they want their kids to grow up in a great place. Idaho is genuinely that, guys. I never thought I would think Idaho was going to be the place where I would want to raise my own kids and dogs and have a family and just grow. Like, I never imagined Idaho would be the spot. I always thought it was going to be California or something like that. Ended up not being the truth, ended up being far from the truth, but I absolutely do love it. And so many other people just like you guys watching may also be feeling the same way. So that is a huge reason why people are moving here. Now let's dive into the next topic. Now let's talk about where people are actually moving in Idaho, which is going to be significantly not surprising to you guys. I mean, at least I don't think it will be. A lot of people who are moving to Idaho are moving to the Boise and surrounding areas. Now, Boise does have the highest population as far as people living there currently, but when I say this number, some people are going to be shocked that it's not as big as they thought. There's less than 250,000 people currently living in the Boise area. Now, in the surrounding cities, Meridian is the second most popular. I also am a little biased because I personally live there and absolutely love it. If you guys want me to get more specific as far as that goes, or city-wise, you definitely want to just download that relocation guide. I promise you it has everything and more that you could imagine about living here. It's 50 pages long, so trust me, we got into detail with it. once again in the description. Regardless, so Meridian's population is under 200,000. I believe they're only around 120,000 people. It may have gone a little higher since more people are relocating that way. And then all the surrounding areas like Eagle doesn't even have 50,000 people living there. There's just not a lot of people living here, but we have noticed a significant difference in population shift. There's a lot of people that are moving here. Now, why they moved to those cities may differ. A lot of people like Boise because it's the central area. It's where downtown is. They like to go out at night. They have the bars, they have all the food, they have great schools. I mean, you have just a little bit of everything in Boise sprinkled in with all the outdoor amenities that are in the area as well, from Lucky Peak, which is like a great area to go and take your boat and have a good time, barbecue, all that fun stuff. Or you also have Bogus Basin, which is where I personally like to go snowboard and have a good time. So if you do snowboard or ski or whatever the case is, everyone knows snowboarding is better than skiing. Actually, let's do this. If you think snowboarding is better than skiing, comment it below. Also, let's do this as well. Comment below where you're tuning in from. I'd also love to know that. But getting back to it, that's just a great area for me personally where I like to go. So Boise just is essentially located in the sense of you're next to pretty much everything. Most people travel to Boise, and that's to do things, whether it is indoors, outdoors, shopping, whatever the case is. That's what they like. That's probably the best area for that. Now, on the other side, you have surrounding cities. Now, surrounding cities like Eagle, Meridian, or Nampa, or even Coeur, a lot of people decide to live there because affordability may be a little better. Eagle not being more affordable. Eagle is actually significantly more expensive than any city around the Boise area. But a lot of people love to live outside of the city of Boise just to avoid the hecticness that comes with being in the highly populated areas, like traffic congestion, or just even trying to get around sometimes could be a little difficult around peak hours. Now, peak hours are usually going to be 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. And then same on the back end where people are going home, you're gonna see a lot more traffic from that 3:30 to maybe 5:30 time frame. That's usually when you see the most traffic. So people like to avoid driving around those times on the interstate or anywhere around there. All right, so to break it down for you guys, Boise is great for people that are just looking to be in the mix. Meridian is great for raising families because they do have some really, really amazing school districts. I've actually had someone that just recently called me from YouTube that told me they want to be in the West Ada school district because they've heard so many great things as far as their academic scores and athletics and all that fun stuff. So great area for families and also upcoming development. Eagle is more for people that are looking for upscale living, it's more luxury based. You do have rural country living as well. So if you're looking for land and upscale living, Eagle is a great spot. Coeur and Nampa are going to be for more affordability. They do have a somewhat of a country feel, but they also are starting to grow in this presence of having a city. But those are some great areas that people are choosing to move to outside of the Boise area. Most people say they live in Boise, but probably live in one of those cities that surround themselves or surround the areas, such as myself. All right, the next thing, let's talk about the housing market in 2026. Now, I did tell you guys I'm going to hopefully not see this, but housing is not like the frenzy that it was once upon a time. Now, if it's a great price property, now you are going to see people are very aware nowadays. Buyers are smarter than ever. You guys can pretty much figure out what is a good priced home, especially after you guys go after the death dive of diving into Zillow or realtor.com or whatever websites you guys like to look at houses for. A lot of people go death scroll for a little bit and then they start to figure out what prices make sense and what don't make sense and why things are priced certain ways. You guys are smart. You know, it's a lot more information out there, and really, we just want to make sure that we guide you guys on our end to make good decisions and negotiate and make sure you guys save as much money as possible. So with that being said, you guys being smarter than ever, that just means that in 2026, pricing matters more than ever, especially for people who are selling their homes. So with that, there's a lot of new construction homes that are priced, and they are priced extremely well. They're actually priced better than resale homes. So some people do prefer to go the new construction route. There are a ton of great builders. Each builder has their pros and cons. Some may not have any cons at all, but what we always recommend, regardless of what builder you go to, always, whether it's me or someone else, do not make the mistake of walking in there and using the new construction builder. They represent the builder, and that is all they care about. They're not going to represent you to the best capability that they should, because they get paid by the builder, not you, and they're on salary. So always make sure you guys have a realtor when you are looking at new construction homes. But the reason why so many people go the new construction route, outside of them being priced better than the resale homes, is also because they offer more incentives than you can potentially negotiate with resale homes depending on their situation. So a lot of them are doing interest rate buy downs. A lot of them are covering all your closing costs. They may be throwing in things like landscaping and blinds and washers and dryers and refrigerators and all the stuff, right? They're throwing in everything because they want to be as competitive as possible, especially with the market slowing down a little bit. Now, I don't think the market is going to be this slow ever again, at least this year. And the reason why I say that, I think the first quarter is going to be the least busiest, and then come March, a lot of people who have been handcuffed to these 2%, 3%, or 4% interest rates are probably going to start seeing that rather than focusing on the interest rate, they're going to start looking at more so the affordability. So depending on what you're looking at, or depending on what you'd like to spend, things of that nature, that obviously plays a factor. I think a lot of people are just starting to realize they need to upgrade because they've had another kid, or they need to downsize because they don't have 2 kids living in the house anymore, or they just want to move closer to work, or whatever the case is, right? Everyone comes from different situations, but that's what we're estimating as far as seeing an increase of about 15% in transactions, which could potentially hurt buyers depending on how fast that happens or what happens with interest rates come March. All right, now let's set some expectations as far as job and income and things of that nature. So a lot of people moving here have over the years been people that are doing mobile work or able to work from home, not necessarily dependent on the wages that Idaho offers. The reason why I say that, and this is important, is because Idaho is not like a high wage area, right? You're not getting paid like California to live in Idaho. You're getting paid relatively on the lower side of things because income has not necessarily caught up to housing costs, at least I want to say. Everything else is not as expensive or nearly as expensive at all when it comes to that side of things, but it's just something that I like to give people a heads up on because I don't think enough people talk about it. All right, so when we're talking about wages, now that doesn't necessarily mean that there's lower wages for all industries. There's a huge need for the 3 things. These are the 3 biggest jobs or career fields that do need the help and are getting paid well. It's going to be the medical field, of course. You have IT, which is absolutely growing like crazy. Micron is out here. Micron is a local company, tech company out here, and they are growing like crazy. They have so many employees. They have so much construction going on. It's only going to get bigger and bigger out here, and that's the biggest probably tech employer out here. We do have also Meta that just opened up in Nampa. So you do have a couple of different spots or a couple of different IT companies around the area. And then on the other end, the next biggest industry is going to be retail, and honestly, fun bonus one we'll throw in there is going to be construction, because they are building like crazy here, regardless if it's residential or commercial. Idaho's growing. They're trying to make sure that the supply stays feasible and is going to have enough. We're going to have enough inventory for the influx of people moving here. All right, guys, the next thing we're going to hit on is weather and conditions. So guys, here's the thing. We made a video recently, a couple weeks ago actually, talking about the winter. It is currently January 7th. As we're making this video right now. So you can see there's no snow on the ground. It's a little warmer. It is actually kind of cold. I got a sweater on, and then I got a quarter zip underneath, but it is a little colder right now. And the reason why people don't typically move here is because they think the winter is going to be absolutely insane. But here I am showing you guys literally January, first, second week of January. It's not too crazy, but we do have quite a bit of weather change. Now, sometimes we do get snow around Christmas time. Sometimes we don't get snow. This season we did not get any snow on Christmas Day, and I was pretty upset about it. I was planning my entire week, the entire month actually I should say, that I was gonna go snowboard on Christmas Day because I thought it was gonna snow, but there's actually, crazy enough, fun fact, a 50% chance that it's going to snow or not snow during Christmas week, or Christmas Day. So it's kind of crazy that we just found that out not too long ago. One of our good past clients let me know about that, but it's just really interesting that a lot of people get fearful of this, and then this is what the winter looks like. Maybe global warming is a real thing, whatever the case is. Moving on to it, winters are not as bad as people say. Like when a lot of people are sitting here saying, oh yeah, we just can't do winters. If you can't do this right here, then I don't know, 70-degree weather is just not gonna be, it's not gonna be year round. So Idaho may not be for you if you're expecting 70-degree weather all year, but you will get degrees as far as low as 20 degrees, which right now it hasn't hit that. I think it's probably like 45, 46 degrees. So you do want to wear something a little warmer, a little thicker. And then of course, we do get the summers. Now during the summertime, it does get pretty hot. It does get not necessarily humid or anything of that nature, but you will see sometimes it will hit the triple-digit numbers. So you have seen numbers in the hundreds, 101, 102. I think the hottest I've ever seen it get is like 104 out here personally, but that was from me being here I got here in April of 2017, and since then it hasn't gotten too crazy, at least in my opinion. And that's coming from someone that lived in Kansas where it was humid, it was hot, it did get to 100, 107, 110 degrees. Like it was absolutely insane. So that is the expectation as far as weather goes, but hopefully I cleared some of that up for you guys. All right, now the next thing I want to hit on, this is more for the families who have kids in schools or just lifestyle and community in general. Now, guys, once again, I mentioned earlier in the video, we have clients specifically that always ask me, what are some of the best school districts? From what we've done or what we've had clients reach out and ask us for specifically, a lot of people really love the West Ada school district. That has been hands down the best school district that a lot of people have fought nail and tooth for to make sure that they're in. Certain high schools may also apply. I mean, depending on where you want to be, Rocky High School is an absolutely amazing one, but also you have the Boise School District, which is in Boise, which people are absolutely okay with as well. So depending on what you guys are looking for as far as schooling or what's important as far as academics and athletics and all that, there are tons of opportunity. It's very common for people not only to have public schools, but there's also private schools, there's charter schools, and some people, believe it or not, way more people than you would believe out here actually prefer to homeschool. And I've asked someone why before. Their reasoning is pretty simple, right? There's a lot of crazy things being taught nowadays, and they just want to make sure that they can feed the information they want their children to receive. And I think I couldn't agree personally more with that, because it is important, especially with everyone who has their own core values, their own beliefs. At least in my opinion, you should be able to give the kids an opportunity to align with your beliefs as well. All right, guys, so we've given you a lot of knowledge. We've talked about pretty much everything, but who is Boise for and who is it not for? I guess for people that are looking for a calmer lifestyle, not necessarily stuck in that hustle and bustle, there is a side of that, right? I'm personally in it. I am a part of the hustle and bustle culture because we have so many of you guys. We're so grateful. Last year, we had a personal achievement of helping 63 families relocate to Idaho, and it was absolutely amazing. I mean, we had a great year, and we're hoping to help 100 people this year. So you guys can check in on me. I'll probably give you guys updates as we go throughout the year. Our goal is to help 100 families who are moving to Idaho this year, just like you guys. So if you guys are one of those people that want to be one of the 100 or are curious about moving here, would like to be a part of that, once again, my cell phone number, email is all going to pop up on the screen. You'll see that. Call me, text me, email me. The more you can tell me about your situation, the better I know how to help you guys. But honestly, guys, if you're looking for a slower pace of life, this is a perfect spot. If you're looking to raise a family, I genuinely don't think there's a better place to do that exactly. Or even better yet, guys, if you are looking for a place to where you're just looking to get something started, maybe you're looking to start a business or looking for an area that is growing and has really great just a future as far as economy goes and everything going to boom, I think Idaho is going to be the best place for you, especially the Boise and surrounding areas. So with that being said, guys, I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in on this video. I hope we gave you tons of information. If you feel like there's something you want more information on, feel free to put it in the comments. Maybe we'll make some more videos about that, but we have a ton of great videos coming for you in 2026. We also have a ton of lives. We will be going live more often this year, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. But appreciate you guys being here. If you didn't subscribe already, make sure you do that. And then if you press the bell at the top of the screen, it will also notify you when we make more amazing videos like this. But I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Happy New Year, and see you guys all year long.